Welcome today for our adventure in Georgia. Movie camera today, we're diving into history and culture as we explore the Stalin Museum in Gori, wander through the ancient cave city of Uplistsikhe, and end our day at the breathtaking Gori monastery in Mtskheta, a UNESCO World Heritage Site. Join us as we uncover the stories, stunning landscapes, and hidden gems of this beautiful country. Let's go! As we leave the serene town of Borjomi behind, our road trip to Gori takes us on an unforgettable journey through Georgia's breathtaking landscapes. The drive winds through lush green forests and rolling hills, offering stunning views at every turn. One of the highlights of the trip is the series of tunnel roads carved into the mountains. These tunnels, some dimly lit and echoing with the hum of passing cars, add a touch of adventure to the journey. As we emerge from each one, we're greeted by dramatic scenery, towering cliffs, flowing rivers, and glimpses of the Caucasus Mountains in the distance. We pass by quaint villages, where locals wave from roadside stalls, and the smell of fresh bread wafts through the air. The transition from the mountainous terrain to the wide open plains near Gori signals that we're getting closer to our destination. This road trip is a perfect blend of nature, adventure, and anticipation for the rich history waiting for us in Gori. Stay tuned. If you're enjoying this journey with us, don't forget to hit that subscribe button to join us for more adventures. Give this video a like, share it with your friends, and let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Gori, a city steeped in history, stirs a sense of curiosity and anticipation. Known as the birthplace of Joseph Stalin, it offers a unique glimpse into both Georgia's past and the life of one of the 20th century's most controversial figures. We're expecting a mix of Soviet-era architecture, local charm, and fascinating stories. The Stalin Museum promises to be a deep dive into history, with its imposing facade and exhibits that chronicle his life and legacy. After a scenic 2-hour journey, we finally arrived in Gori. The city welcomed us with its unique blend of history and charm. From the moment we entered, the streets hinted at stories of the past, with a mix of Soviet-era landmarks and traditional Georgian architecture. The Joseph Stalin Museum is a museum in Gori, Georgia dedicated to the life of Joseph Stalin, the leader of the Soviet Union, who was born in Gori. The museum retains its Soviet-era characteristics. The museum has 3 sections, all located in the town's central square. It was officially dedicated to Stalin in 1957. With the downfall of the Soviet Union and independence movement of Georgia, the museum was closed in 1989, but has since been reopened and is a popular tourist attraction. One of the most fascinating parts of the Stalin Museum is the humble wooden house where Joseph Stalin was born. This small, one-story structure is preserved under a grand pavilion right outside the main museum building, symbolizing the stark contrast between Stalin's modest beginnings and the immense power he later wielded. Enshrined within a Greco-Italianate pavilion is a small wooden hut, in which Stalin was born in 1878 and spent his first 4 years. The small hut has 2 rooms on the ground floor. Stalin's father Vissarion Djugashvili, a local shoemaker, rented the one room on the left-hand side of the building and maintained a workshop in the basement. It's incredible to think that from this small house, in a quiet Georgian town, a man would rise to command one of the largest empires in modern history. One of the most intriguing exhibits at the Stalin Museum is the green armored train carriage that Stalin used during the later years of his life. This train served as his preferred mode of transportation for long-distance travel, including trips to conferences such as the historic Yalta Conference during World War II. The carriage is imposing, with its thick metal exterior designed to withstand potential attacks. Inside, the train is a mix of practicality and understated luxury, reflecting Stalin's austere yet calculated personality. The interior features a small bedroom with a simple bed, a meeting room with a large table surrounded by chairs, and an office space. The decor is minimal, with dark wooden panels and plain furnishings, but everything is meticulously arranged for comfort and security. The train highlights Stalin's preference for travel by rail over airplanes, as he distrusted flying. Its heavy construction ensured his safety, and its design allowed him to work, rest, and strategize while on the move. Standing in front of this historic train is like stepping into a piece of living history, a tangible link to a leader who shaped the 20th century. The main corpus of the complex is a large palazzo in Stalinist Gothic style, begun in 1951 ostensibly as a museum of the history of socialism, but clearly intended to become a memorial to Stalin, who died in 1953. The exhibits are divided into 6 halls in roughly chronological order, and contain many items actually or allegedly owned by Stalin, including some of his office furniture, his personal effects and gifts made to him over the years. There is also much illustration by way of documentation, photographs, paintings, and newspaper articles. The display concludes with one of 12 copies of the death mask of Stalin taken shortly after his death. The overall impression is that of a shrine to a secular saint. The museum is divided into several halls, each dedicated to different aspects of Stalin's life and legacy, offering visitors a detailed look at his rise to power, his leadership during World War II, and the impact of his rule on the Soviet Union and the world. The first sections focus on Stalin's early years in Georgia, his education, and his time as a revolutionary. Photographs, documents, and personal items illustrate his formative years and the political environment in which he rose to prominence. There are also displays about his role in the Bolshevik Revolution and his eventual consolidation of power. The museum's centerpiece is a large collection of gifts and tributes given to Stalin during his time in power, many of which were presented by foreign dignitaries. These gifts reflect the reverence he was shown by his allies and the fear he inspired in others. One of the most striking features is a display of portraits of Stalin, many of them in various sizes and styles, some with grandeur and others with a more personal, intimate touch. In the later sections, the museum delves into the darker aspects of Stalin's reign, including his policies of collectivization, the purges, and the repression of political dissidents. It's a place where history is not only preserved, but also pondered, as visitors reflect on the power of one man to shape the course of nations. After our visit to the Stalin Museum, we set off towards Uplistsikhe, an ancient cave city that's a true marvel of Georgian history. But as we drove through the streets, we couldn't help but notice the energy around us. Today was Georgia's Independence Day, and the country was alive with celebrations. As we made our way to Uplistsikhe, large crowds were gathered in towns and cities, waving the Georgian flag, enjoying street performances, and taking part in parades. Everywhere we looked, there were smiles, music, and the vibrant colors of traditional clothing. The sense of pride and joy in the air was palpable, and it was clear that this was more than just a holiday. It was a deep expression of national identity and resilience. The festivities added a special touch to our journey, as we felt the pulse of Georgia's culture and history all around us. Even as we approached the ancient cave city, the celebrations reminded us that we were witnessing Georgia's past and present coming together in a powerful way. The drive to Uplistsikhe takes us through the scenic Georgian countryside, offering a glimpse into both rural life and the country's striking landscapes. As we leave Gori behind, the road stretches out into open fields, with the occasional village dotting the landscape. The road winds through rolling hills, with the Mtskheta River flowing below, adding a sense of serenity to the journey. As we approach Uplistsikhe, the terrain begins to change. The flat fields gradually give way to rocky hills, and we begin to see the outlines of the ancient cave city perched on a ridge above the river. Uplistsikhe, one of Georgia's most ancient and awe-inspiring landmarks. Nestled in the rolling hills of Svetitskhoveli, this extraordinary rock-hewn town is a true testament to the ingenuity of early civilizations. Dating back to the early Iron Age, Uplistsikhe served as a thriving cultural and political center, with its labyrinth of caves, grand halls, and hidden passageways carved directly into the rugged cliffs. As you explore its timeless architecture, you'll be transported to a world where pagan rituals, bustling trade routes, and the spirit of ancient Georgia come to life. Perched above the banks of the Mtskheta River, this UNESCO-nominated site offers breathtaking views of the surrounding landscapes, making it an unforgettable destination for history enthusiasts and adventurers alike. Prepare to uncover the stories etched into every stone of this ancient marvel. Uplistsikhe, meaning the Lord's Fortress, is one of Georgia's most ancient and significant archaeological and cultural sites. This remarkable rock-hewn town, carved into the cliffs overlooking the Mtskheta River, has stood for thousands of years as a silent witness to the country's vibrant history and evolution. The origins of Uplistsikhe date back to the Late Bronze Age, around the 2nd millennium BCE. Initially a pagan religious center, the town was dedicated to the worship of local deities, with its rock-cut temples and altars serving as focal points for rituals and ceremonies. Its strategic location along the trade routes connecting Asia and Europe made it a pivotal hub of commerce, religion, and culture. As one of the earliest urban centers in the Caucasus, Uplistsikhe became a cradle of political and economic power during the pre-Christian era. Archaeological evidence suggests that the settlement flourished during the Iron Age, developing sophisticated systems for water storage, defense, and food production. Between the 6th century BCE and the 1st century CE, Uplistsikhe emerged as a key stronghold of the Kartli, Iberian kingdom. Its rulers expanded the settlement, carving grand halls, intricate tunnels, and fortifications into the rocky plateau. The largest structures, such as the Queen Tamer's Hall, showcase the architectural ingenuity of the time, with stone columns, arches, and staircases that remain impressive to this day. The town's prominence grew alongside its role as a religious center. Pagan sanctuaries and temples, aligned with celestial patterns, reflect the spiritual practices of the era. These were later modified or abandoned with the arrival of Christianity in Georgia in the 4th century CE. The Christianization of Georgia marked a turning point for Uplistsikhe. Pagan rituals were replaced by Christian worship, and a modest church was constructed within the settlement, blending the old with the new. However, the rise of Tbilisi as a major political and economic hub in the early medieval period led to the gradual decline of Uplistsikhe's importance. The Mongol invasions of the 13th century dealt a final blow to the town. Its inhabitants were forced to abandon the site, leaving behind a ghostly city of stone. Despite its decline, Uplistsikhe's cultural and historical significance remained ingrained in Georgian identity. Systematic archaeological excavations began in the mid-20th century, revealing the town's extensive network of rock-cut structures, including over 700 caves and tunnel residential quarters, granaries, wineries, and ceremonial halls. These findings highlighted Uplistsikhe's unique role as a melting pot of Georgian, Persian, Hellenistic, and Roman influences. One of its most striking features is its advanced infrastructure. The city had an underground water distribution system, defensive walls, and escape routes carved into the bedrock, attesting to the ingenuity of its inhabitants. Today, Uplistsikhe stands as a protected cultural monument, drawing visitors from around the world. Its weathered stones tell stories of resilience, faith, and innovation, offering a tangible link to Georgia's ancient past. As you walk through its sunlit pathways and gaze over the Mtskheta River, you can almost hear the echoes of the bustling life that once filled its halls. Uplistsikhe is not just a historical site, it's a testament to the enduring spirit of Georgia's people, preserving their legacy for future generations. As your journey through Uplistsikhe draws to a close, it's hard not to marvel at the incredible fusion of nature and human ingenuity that defines this ancient rock-hewn city. From its sweeping views of the Mtskheta River valley to the intricate caves and halls that whisper tales of rituals, trade, and resilience, Uplistsikhe is more than a historical site, it's a doorway to Georgia's soul. Before leaving, make your way down the hill to a quaint local winery nestled among the greenery. Here, you can experience the modern embodiment of Georgia's rich winemaking tradition, a craft that dates back over 8,000 years. The small family-run vineyard produces wine in the traditional Kvevri method, using large clay vessels buried underground to ferment and age the wine. Step into the cozy tasting room, where the air is filled with the sweet aroma of fermenting grapes. The winemaker, eager to share their craft, will guide you through a tasting of their finest offerings. This visit to Uplistsikhe, crowned with the taste of its wines, will linger in your memory as a highlight of your journey through this remarkable country. From this historical land of Uplistsikhe, we continued our journey towards Tbilisi, with a planned stop in the ancient town of Mtskheta along the way. The rocky terrains of Uplistsikhe gradually gave way to rolling hills and greener landscapes as we drove. Passing through small towns with rustic homes and quiet streets, the journey felt peaceful and grounded in local life. The drive took about an hour, offering glimpses of everyday Georgian life as we continued towards Mtskheta. The landscape shifted from rugged to lush, each turn bringing us closer to the historic town, where the majestic Svetitskhoveli Cathedral awaited. The weather took a melancholic turn, with rain gently drizzling down, adding a serene charm to the landscape. As we drove, the countryside unfolded its quiet, rustic beauty. Among the sights were unused rail carriages scattered alongside the tracks, their weathered exteriors and stillness evoking a sense of forgotten stories. These remnants of Georgia's industrial past stood in stark contrast to the vibrant history we had just explored. Reaching Mtskheta in the rain was like stepping into a timeless painting. The mist clung to the golden dome of the Svetitskhoveli Cathedral, enhancing its ethereal aura. The wet cobblestone streets reflected the soft glow of the streetlights, and the sound of raindrops added a rhythmic backdrop to this spiritual and historical town. The pathway leading to Svetitskhoveli Cathedral is lined with charming small shops and vibrant vendors, adding a lively, local flair to the sacred atmosphere. Stalls display an array of colorful souvenirs, handmade crafts, traditional Georgian textiles, and religious icons. The scent of freshly baked church kella and warm bread mingles with the air, tempting passers-by. Vendors greet visitors warmly, offering unique keepsakes and local delicacies, making the walk to the cathedral both welcoming and memorable. Lajid soft drinks are an iconic part of Georgian culinary heritage, celebrated for their unique flavors and natural ingredients. Created in the late 19th century by Mitrofan Lajids, these sodas blend carbonated water with syrups made from fresh fruits, herbs, and natural essences. Popular flavors include pear, tarragon, cream, and lemon, with tarragon. We couldn't miss the chance to try the famous Lajid soft drinks, a true Georgian classic. Served fresh, the drinks offered a burst of natural flavors. Tarragon stood out with its vibrant green hue and sweet herbal notes, while pear was refreshingly fruity. Each sip was a fizzy delight, free from artificial additives, and rich in authentic taste. The entrance to Svetitskhoveli Cathedral exudes an aura of timeless grandeur. As you approach, the towering stone walls, adorned with intricate carvings and ancient inscriptions, immediately capture your attention. The gateway, framed by arching stonework, opens into a spacious courtyard surrounded by lush greenery. The soft hum of prayers and the gentle ringing of church bells set a serene tone, inviting you to step inside and experience the spiritual and historical essence of this sacred site. Svetitskhoveli Cathedral, located in Mtskheta, Georgia, is one of the most revered and historically significant religious sites in the country. Its name, meaning life-giving pillar, is deeply rooted in Georgian Christian tradition and rich with captivating stories and historical events. The cathedral was originally built in the 4th century CE, soon after Christianity was adopted as Georgia's state religion. According to tradition, the site was chosen because it held the burial place of Christ's robe, brought to Georgia by a Jewish merchant named Elias. He is said to have purchased the robe in Jerusalem from a Roman soldier after the crucifixion. When Elias returned to Mtskheta, his sister Sidonia took the robe and, overcome by its sanctity, died holding it. She was buried at the site, and a cedar tree later grew over her grave. In the 4th century, Saint Nino, who played a pivotal role in converting Georgia to Christianity, instructed that the tree be cut down to build the first wooden church on the site. The cedar tree was cut into 7 pillars, but the 7th pillar, destined to stand at the center of the church, could not be moved. According to legend, it miraculously levitated into the air and glowed with divine light. After prayers by Saint Nino, the pillar descended and emitted a sacred liquid believed to have healing properties. This miracle gave the cathedral its name, Svetitskhoveli. We were fortunate to witness a traditional Georgian wedding during our visit, and it was a truly enchanting experience. The ceremony took place at Svetitskhoveli Cathedral, adding a sense of sacredness to the celebration. The bride, dressed in an elegant white gown with intricate lace details, and the groom, in a traditional Georgian choker, looked regal as they exchanged vows under the grand arches of the church. The air was filled with the solemn melodies of the Georgian choir, their harmonies resonating within the ancient stone walls. The couple participated in age-old rituals, such as the crowning ceremony, symbolizing their unity and commitment. A traditional Georgian wedding at Svetitskhoveli Cathedral is a breathtaking blend of spirituality, history and cultural richness. The ceremony held in this sacred and ancient space is steeped in symbolism and tradition, creating an atmosphere both solemn and celebratory. The wedding begins with the couple standing before the altar, surrounded by their closest family and friends. A Georgian Orthodox priest, dressed in richly adorned vestments, leads the service. One of the most symbolic moments is the crowning ceremony. The priest places gold crowns, often intricately decorated, on the heads of the bride and groom, signifying their unity and the idea that they are sovereigns of their new household. The crowns also represent martyrdom, reminding the couple of their commitment and shared sacrifices in marriage. The couple is led around the altar 3 times, following the priest while holding a ceremonial cloth that binds their hands. This symbolizes their eternal bond and journey together. Blessed by the Church, representing the Holy Trinity, the priest blesses the couple, and the service is deeply spiritual and solemn. Guests, often dressed in elegant traditional or modern attire, stand respectfully throughout the ceremony, as is customary in Georgian Orthodox services. Many hold candles, symbolizing light and guidance for the couple's life ahead. Having a wedding at Svetitskhoveli Cathedral is not just a personal event, it connects the couple to centuries of Georgian heritage. The cathedral itself has witnessed countless weddings over its long history, making every ceremony there part of a timeless tradition. A wedding at Svetitskhoveli is more than a union of 2 people, it's a celebration of love, faith, and the enduring spirit of Georgian culture. After witnessing this beautiful cultural wedding at Svetitskhoveli Cathedral, we continued our journey toward Tbilisi to settle into our accommodation and end the day. On the way, we made a quick stop at a local market, a vibrant and bustling spot brimming with fresh produce and authentic Georgian flavors. Here, we couldn't resist picking up some Georgian honey, known for its rich, floral taste and purity, and a selection of local cheeses, crafted using traditional methods. It's incredible how quickly these 4 days in Georgia flew by. From exploring ancient sites like Uplistsikhe and Mtskheta to experiencing the vibrant culture, delicious food, and warm hospitality, every moment was unforgettable. If you enjoyed our journey and want to see more adventures, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to our channel. Your support means the world to us and helps us share even more amazing experiences with you. See you in the next video as we explore the stunning Georgian Trinity Church, an iconic gem nestled in the mountains of Georgia. Stay tuned for another unforgettable adventure.